There is a common belief that working in a bigger company is automatically better for your career in learning and development. You get more resources, better structure, more support, right? But bigger doesn't always mean better. And when I say bigger, I'm talking about the size of the company, the headcount, not necessarily the brand name or the reputation the company has on the market. I have personally worked in L&D roles across companies of 120 employees, 400 employees, and 3,000 employees. So I have seen firsthand how the size of the organization can completely shape your experience. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Lisa and I create videos which existed when I was starting my career in learning and development. So in this video, I want to unpack the real differences between working in learning and development in a smaller company versus in a bigger one. What is actually like, what do you gain, what you give up in each, and how to figure out which environment fits wherever you are right now in your career and what makes sense for you. So before we jump into the pros and cons, let's get clear on what we actually mean by a small, medium-sized company, because your experience in L&D can look completely different depending on the size of the organization. So for this video, when I say small company, I'm talking about organizations with around up to 100 employees. Mid-size might range from 200 to 1,000, and big companies are those with 1,000 plus employees. Now, of course, these numbers aren't set in stone, but they give us a good reference point to work with. Before we dive into pros and cons of working in a small or medium or big size company, let's set the scene. In most of the companies under 500 employees, you will usually find just one dedicated person who looks after all learning and development matters. That's a total one-person show. You are not just running onboarding or designing organizational workshops, but you're also managing LMS, if of course there is one. You're covering both soft skills and technical skills training. You're running internal leadership programs with internal resources or with help of third parties. You're supporting performance management, succession planning, or even owning these processes in HR system. You are planning employee well-being programs and activities, and sometimes even co-leading an assessment center. And you're doing all of this with minimal support resources and many times zero backup. So what are pros of working in L&D in small or medium-sized companies? So yes, you are doing a lot, but let's talk about what you gain from that kind of experience, because there are definitely good points. First, you grow fast. Wearing so many hats means you get hands-on experience in every part of L&D. Design, delivery, strategy, operations, you name it. You build confidence quickly because you're constantly figuring things out. Your work is visible. In a smaller company, leadership sees your impact. You're not buried in a huge team or waiting for approvals to make a move. What you build gets noticed faster than if you would work in the bigger company. You build real connections across the company. One of the underrated benefits of being in a smaller organization in L&D is that you usually know every employee, or at least most of them. You understand who they are, what they do, and what kind of support they need. That kind of connection helps you to build your learning solutions that are more personal, more relevant. But in the bigger companies, let's say 500 employees or 1,000 employees or more, you start to lose that closeness. You often work with just one segment of the business, and L&D becomes broader, more one size fits all. You lose that everyday connection with the people that you are supporting. You learn to be resourceful. You don't always have the budget or the tools you would like, so You learn how to get creative. You become scrappy in the best way, finding workarounds, building your own resources, or making the most of what you already have. You develop both breadth and depth because you covering so much. You start to understand how everything connects, from performance management to learning strategy. It gives you a system level view early in your career. You get autonomy. There is a lot of trust that comes with being a one-man show. You are usually not micromanaged. You are empowered to make decisions, test ideas, and build things your way. All right, so what are cons of working in L&D in a small or medium-sized company? It can feel overwhelming. When you're juggling everything on your own, burnout is a real risk. You are reacting to last-minute requests, jumping between tasks, and trying to carve out space for strategic thinking. You might be building the entire L&D function from scratch by yourself, unless you are joining an international company that has ready-made processes, procedures, standards, or what needs to be reported. There is a good chance you're gonna create everything by yourself. You might feel isolated. With no L&D team around you, it can be tough to get feedback, bounce ideas with someone, or learn from others, especially if you are earlier in your career. Growth can be unclear. Smaller teams often don't have a formal career path, and if you want to grow, you may need to create your own next step or eventually move on to a bigger organization. Pros of working in L&D in big company. In many larger companies, you will find clear learning frameworks, existing programs, defined roles, and even service level agreements for how L&D supports the business. But here is the catch. Just because a company is big, it does not automatically mean it's organized. Sometimes big companies can actually be messier than smaller ones. Bigger budgets and more tools at your disposal. Larger companies often have dedicated learning platforms, external vendors, and access to tools like authoring software or AI-based solutions that gives you more space to focus on quality and innovation. Specialization. If you want to go deep in a certain area like instructional design, facilitation, or learning analytics, a bigger company lets you specialize and refine that skill over time. Exposure to complex, large-scale projects. You might be part of the regional or global solutions or roll out across different functions and countries. You get to see how L&D connects to a broader business agenda. The next is defined career path. There is often a clear organizational structure with roles like learning specialist, partner, manager, head of L&D that can give you a roadmap for progression and internal mobility. Cons of working in learning and development in a big company. Just like small companies, big companies come with their own trade-offs. Things move slowly. There are layers of approvals, stakeholders, and internal politics. You might have a great idea, but actually getting it signed off and rolling it out can take weeks, if not months. Your role may be too narrow or too specialized. Because the L&D team is bigger, you likely focused on just one piece of the puzzle, let's say facilitation or LMS. It can be harder to stretch into new areas unless you actively push for it. There are more rules, more policies and approvals involved. That means flexibility to test new formats or run with ideas quickly. It's harder to stay personally connected. In big companies, especially those with over 1,000 employees, you are typically only connected to the people in your department or business unit. You may never meet most of the employees you are creating learning for. As a result, programs can start feel more generic, one size fits all. It can feel really hard to stand out. In a large L&D team, it's easy to get lost in crowd. Your work might be solid, but visibility and recognition can take longer unless you are intentional about showcasing it. Collaboration can be more complex. You will need to work across departments, regions, time zones. It sharpens your stakeholder management skills and communication skills, but it also means a lot of meetings, alignment calls, and follow-ups. As you have probably figured out by now, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Working in a small company can give you incredible exposure, ownership, and growth, especially if you like building things from the ground up and you don't mind wearing multiple hats. Working in a big company can give you access to system, scale, and specialization, especially if you want to go deep in a certain area of L&D or grow within a structured career path. The real question is, what kind of environment do you thrive in right now? Do you want flexibility or you prefer more structure? Are you in a season of your life where you want to learn everything, or you want to focus on one thing and grow deep expertise? Do you need mentorship and peer support, or you want to build something on your own? And remember, your choice isn't permanent. You can start in one, move on to another later. That's the beauty of L&D career. It's flexible and it grows with you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gave you some clarity on what it's really to work in L&D in different types of companies. And if you need support with your learning and development journey, head over to my website elisastools.com, where you will find free resources designed specifically for L&D professionals. And if you are prepping for your next learning and development interview, check L&D interview preparation call on my website. All the links you'll find in the description below. If this video helped you, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next one. Bye bye.